Hello everyone, we're standing here today at Connecting Green Hydrogen Europe in Madrid, organized by Leaders Associates. My name is Johann Wiebe, Executive Director from Hydrogen Standard. I've got the pleasure here today to stand with two people from Burckhardt Compression. That is Pinky Vijay and Miguel Hostench. Did I say that correct?
Correct. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes.
Fantastic, great. We'll start off with you, Pinky, first, and then we'll move to you, Miguel, shortly after. But Burckhardt Compression, tell us, Pinky, what does the business do?
We at Burckhardt Compression basically design and manufacture reciprocating gas compressors. Our purpose is creating leading compression solutions for a sustainable energy future. We've been in the business for about 180 years, of which 50 years I can already say that we have experience in the field of hydrogen specifically. We're 3,000 employees worldwide with at least 80 presence in at least 80 countries also globally. To sum it up, we are wherever you find gases, you can think about Burckhardt Compression basically.
Wherever you can find gases, you can find Burckhardt Compression. Could be a slogan to your next commercial. That aside, gases obviously very relevant also to the subject of the conference here, hydrogen in particular. Can you tell us a little bit about sort of the applications that you guys offer in the hydrogen space?
I mean, for us, at the end of the day, hydrogen is just a molecule. So it doesn't matter what kind of hydrogen that we get. It could be green hydrogen coming from an electrolyzer. It could be other various colors like, coming from SMR or even from nuclear, which is pink. At the end of the day, we cater to a variety of applications, right from pipeline injection to mobility. So that could be the end users. We also have compressors that we have provided for liquefaction. Just right before the cold box, you need a feed gas compressor, which compresses up to about 30 bar for the liquefaction process. So that's also a kind of an application that we are catering to. Also high pressure, non-lubricated solutions, mainly for mobility. This is also a topic and of importance to Burckhardt, where we provide our high pressure compressors.
So compression, as you mentioned, is just a gas is another gas. Hydrogen is just another gas. We've been dealing sort of like as a society-wide with other gases for quite some time. Can you tell us maybe a little bit sort of what are the differences are in terms of your experience dealing with, for example, natural gas versus hydrogen?
Hydrogen is a very light molecule, so at the end of the day, you need to have a very robust sealing system. So natural gas is a much heavier gas, so compressing that is much more easier than compared to hydrogen. But we design our own sealing system, which is called the Redura Sealing System, which we have in-house R&D and experience for over 20 years just dealing with the sealing system. And with that, we are able to reach up these high pressures of up to 550 bar. So that is the importance of having a robust sealing system in order to reach these high pressure hydrogen applications.
And on the sort of compression technology, is that sort of like utilized in the electrolyzer system, also in the distribution sort of network of the gas itself, or what sort of where can we find sort of Burckhardt compression?
Hydrogen, as soon as it is produced right from the electrolyzer, you need to boost up the pressure of hydrogen in order to actually transport hydrogen, and also for depending on the end user and the end customer usage of hydrogen, you need to bring it up to a certain pressure. So along the entire value chain of hydrogen, you actually need compression, and that's why we are there as Burckhardt Compression for you.
Sure, I mean the gas needs to go from A to B, right? And it's not going to do that by itself. You touched on lubricated products. Maybe we can delve into that subject a little bit. Lubricated versus non-lubricated. I'm not going to stay to be sort of the expert on that subject, but it is quite often discussed by various companies. What does it mean sort of in Burckhardt Compression, those two things?
So in many applications, specifically if you look at mobility or even for the production of green hydrogen, which goes into the synthesis loop of the ammonia production, it is required to have compressors or which have non-lubricated services, which means there is no oil getting into the gas stream, and that's very important because you don't want to end up having oil in the mobility field basically. So that's the reason why you need to have non-lubricated compressors, and the importance of it is there in the industry. You see that. And therefore, Burckhardt produces both lubricated and non-lubricated depending on the application and depending on what the customer wants at the end of the day.
Very good. Taking a little bit of a step back, talking a little bit more general in terms of like the energy transition and what Burckhardt Compression does and can do in that space.
Sustainability is actually one of the DNA or the core purpose of Burckhardt strategy. So we have ambitions that we have laid out in a midterm plan, which is up to 2027. In these plans, we have discussed the use of having applications which are supporting energy transition. Up to 40% of the business that we want to bring in 2027 is going to be in the field supporting energy transition. We want to also be a net zero company by 2030, and this is our ambition, which is in line with the Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions that is set forth in the Paris Agreement.
Fantastic. Moving along to Miguel a little bit. Businesses are global these days, and obviously you guys are one of them. But it's also important to have sort of a presence in various markets. And since we're in Spain, Iberia and Spain in particular, is also of importance of Burckhardt Compression. Am I correct?
Yes, thank you, Johan, for the question. Basically, the idea to be local is try to support the customers to have a better understanding of what we can support them, and it is a critical question, because this is a new sector, so the rentability of the hydrogen is a question mark, so it is not just focusing on capex, we need to also focus on opex, so the operation of the plant through the 20-25 years, it is critical and important. So Burckhardt Compression has their own facility, the repair center in Madrid. We support France, Madrid and Portugal from here, and we have a repair facility when we can repair main components, valves from the compressors, and also we have a bunch of guys who do field service representatives, who do supervision on site, repairs, and support the customers to have a better lifetime of the compressors. That is critical to make a hydrogen more economically feasible.
One more final question then, bolting on to sort of like the local presence and also the development of the hydrogen industry here. What is a little bit sort of your impression, your experience dealing in the hydrogen space and also in Spain? How's the uptake? How's the industry evolving? Is the government providing enough support? What is sort of your impression?
Yeah, basically, there is a lot of projects going on, but as I told you, the economics is still a question mark, so the sector really depends on some support. And I think this is where everybody needs to support the sector, the company, the hydrogen, and this is where Burckhardt, with their local presence, is supporting the segment to push and to get some financials that can boost the sector and have some final approvals.
Fantastic. Miguel and Pinky from Burckhardt Compression, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Johan.
Thank you, Johan. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Great. Well done.
Thank you.
Awesome.